We're back on Great Tastes of Manitoba, and we're in the backyard with Barkman, and we're grilling with Manitoba turkey. So, Wendy, thank you for being here. And of course, Sheila and Ash are going to do some cool beverage pairings in just a second. Why don't you walk us through real quickly what we did here today?
Yeah, so the first recipe that we did was the black bean turkey burger with the chipotle mayo. So we had double heat in the burger and in the sauce.
Whew.
Then the next one was the turkey Souvlaki. So we had some Greek flavors going on there. And then the last one was the barbecued turkey with fennel and blueberry stuffing. So a little bit sweet on the stuffing.
The recipes for this show and the complete series of Great Tastes are available on the GreatTastesMB.ca website. And one recipe from today's show will be in the classified section of the Winnipeg Free Press.
Well, Sheila, I'm using a pretty incredible amount of restraint right now to not dive right into whatever you've got in that picture, because it looks so incredibly refreshing. What did you do as far as pairings are concerned today?
Definitely looked for some refreshing selections, and I think that's what I've got here across the board. So certainly to start with was that black bean turkey burger. Had a little bit of heat, a little bit of spice in there. And to me, nothing is a better match to a burger than a beer. And that's where I went with this. Now, this is from Steam Whistle. It's a great craft brewery out of Toronto. It's a lovely style. It happens to be a Pilsner. And of course, a Pilsner is just a pale style lager named after the town of Pilsen, Czech. It's nice, refreshing. It's got great floral, a little bit of sweet graininess in there. I think it's going to pair up, hold its own to the burger, because there's definitely a lot of complex flavors going on, but have a nice little cooling aspect as well. So just a nice, clean, crisp drink to accompany that black bean turkey burger. Next was that turkey Souvlaki, and you know, there's lots of selections and choices I could have made, but I decided to go with one of those guidelines when it comes to pairing your food with different alcohol beverages, and I went with the regional theme. There was a little bit of that tzatziki sauce in there. You got a heaviness to it with the Greek yogurt and a little bit of that sour cream. I wanted something to cut through it, but not completely overpower the turkey. So this is a white, it's called 300. It's a blend of 3 indigenous grape varietals. If I named them, nobody would know them. Just know that when they're blended together, what you get is a very crisp style, lots of good acidity, but there's a good weight to it as well. So I think it's going to hold up nicely, cut through that sauce, and just complement the dish very nicely overall. Lastly was that barbecued turkey with the fennel and blueberry stuffing, and I really decided to sort of play off of that. That fennel has, of course, a very predominant characteristic of flavors. I wanted something to pair up nicely. This is Aperol. It's an Italian liqueur. It's a bitter, as well as a Prosecco. Now, if you've ever been in Europe, chances are you've already had this drink, because they drink tons of it. When you pair them together, you put some of the Aperol, the Italian bitter liqueur, a little bit of Prosecco in there, some orange slices, and a splash of soda. What you get is a very refreshing, clean, crisp drink that I think is going to pair up with all of that fennel blueberry flavors and just be a completely refreshing little cocktail on its own.
Wendy Harisco, thank you so much for bringing all your turkey tips here today. And Sheila Nash, I always learn something from you, so thank you for your beverage pairings.
Fun.
Appreciate it. It is fun. And make sure you join us next time, because we have Dairy Best Sides with the Dairy Farmers of Manitoba. In the meantime, have a great week. Thanks for watching Great Tastes of Manitoba. Opa!
Great Tastes of Manitoba is presented by Manitoba Liquor Mart. Great Tastes is brought to you by GreatTastesMB.ca. Local farms, local foods. Great Tastes is sponsored by Manitoba Agriculture, Food and Rural Development. Great Tastes is produced in cooperation with participating Manitoba Commodities and Manitoba Agriculture, Food and Rural Development. Promotional consideration is provided by the Winnipeg Free Press. We're there for you. Great Tastes is produced by Frank Digital.